so fluffy. You already know.
Hey everyone! Yesterday I got a phone call from best friends saying that they pulled a kitten from the shelter and asked if I am available to foster. Of course I said yes, so in this video I am going to show you how I prepare food for the kitten and a little bit of what I do during the first feeding. This is Fineas. He doesn't have his teeth yet, but his eyes are open, so to me, he's probably turning 3 weeks old soon. For food, always use KMR. Do not feed cow's milk to kittens as it does not have proper nutrition for them. Cow's milk will also cause diarrhea and possibly life-threatening conditions for young kittens. When I get KMR, I always like to check. It's always 1 powder of KMR to 2 parts warm water, and I would always use this 1 protein shakes and count up how many ounces there are and divide it into 1 to 2 parts. This protein bottle that I use has 24 ounces. I find it super simple if I use a Sharpie and just mark it, and the next time I don't need to look at it again. I can just follow the line that I drew. If you don't want Sharpie on your cup or jar, you can also use a painter's tape. It works the same. Then we will pour the KMR into the jar. I will always shake it down so it doesn't fall out, and I use a chopstick to get the tiny spoon out. I don't like to use this spoon because the formula is so dense. It's very hard for me to get a scoop off. I like to save the scoop for kibbles later on. It's a perfect feeding portion for weaned kittens. I went ahead and used a big tablespoon to scoop out the formula, making sure that it's filled up all the way to the 8 ounces mark that we did. Here's a good habit to have is to seal off your KMR can and drop it into the fridge right away so you don't forget. When we're pouring in the warm water into the KMR, don't worry about filling it up to the 24 ounces marked, because if you're using a blender, it can splatter the milk. I always add warm water afterwards to the water marked when it's fully mixed. It is important for us to stick with the 1 to 2 parts rule because kittens are so fragile. If we don't mix the formula as per said, it might lead to vomiting and diarrhea. Before we pour it into the bottle, always remember to shake it around, check if you have anything stuck on the bottom or any clumping parts. And remember to fill up to the watermark. Now we get the kitty bottle out, and finally we're going to prepare for the feeding. We know Finny's about 2 to 3 weeks old. Kittens that age should be fed 10 ml at each feeding. So I went ahead and prepared him 15 mils just in case he wants more.
See if you want to eat. Oh, good boy.
Keep in mind that the first feeding might not go as smoothly as always, and that's very normal. What's important here is that we don't want to force feed a kitten on the first try. Always remember to tilt the bottle at a 45-degree angle so air doesn't get into the kitten's stomach. I like to feed kittens on a very soft blanket to simulate their mama's tummy. Also in a darker room so light doesn't shine to their eyes. Every single kitten is different, and Finny gave me a really good first latch. Here I'm just trying to see if he still wants any more. I put the nipple right beside his mouth and he latched right away. You notice little Finny's ears are wiggling, and that's a sign of him actually drinking milk. And now he starts to purr. This is the sign where I know that he's faking it. He is not drinking anymore. He's just enjoying to chew. One thing I forgot to mention is that you should always stimulate a kitten before you feed them. he just wants to lay around, have a little tummy rub, and look at his surrounding, recognizing who I am. Overall, I think Finny is a very healthy little boy. I noticed he was kneading on the blanket, so I tried to go for a third round. And look at that, wiggling ears, he's still drinking. Like I said, the first feeding doesn't really mean anything. I did notice Finny was kneading on his blanket inside the crate during the car ride, so I assumed that he was hungry to begin with. Right now, he is done with the bottle. He just wants a hug, he wants to meow for attention, and go explore. The last step we do is, of course, to record his weight. He weighs about 221 grams right now. And we will wipe down every information from previous foster and input Finny's weight, date, and the feeding time. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Comment below, let me know what you would like to see next. And don't forget to subscribe. Stay home, stay safe, and foster with Allie.